Did you have an idol, a player that you looked up to when you were growing up?
It was Frank Lampard.
Frank Lampard.
Frank Lampard.
Frank Lampard.
Frank Lampard.
It's a fantastic goal from Frank Lampard. There's Lampard.
I've done it in my football career. I've tried to eke out every bit I can out of it because I know when it's gone, it's completely gone and you can't come back.
Lampard! Lampard! Oh, wow!
I've got no regrets because I think I carried on going as long as I could, tried to get the best out of myself.
Now Lampard! Oh, screamer!
Now it's time to move on, so I think that will be goodbye, but I've had an absolutely amazing time doing it.
Pour retracer le fil de la carrière de Frank Lampard, c'est à Romford, au nord-est de Londres, qu'il faut se rendre. Avant les titres, avant les records et avant la gloire, c'est ici que le petit Franck a décoché ses premières frappes, sur ce terrain, bien loin de la pelouse de Stamford Bridge. Peter Yam était alors président de East Park, le tout premier club de Lampard.
Most children, when they're very young, the ball goes along the ground. But Frank's ability was his ability to actually lift the ball over people. And certainly that from outside the box, he could actually hit a ball quite well.
En 1994, Frank Lampard fait ses débuts en Première Ligue à tout juste 18 ans, sous les couleurs de West Ham.
I was there in the press box, and the reaction from the home fans, the West Ham fans, was very negative. They didn't like Frank. They thought he was getting preferential treatment because his uncle, Harry Redknapp, was in charge. He was the manager, and his dad, Frank Lampard Sr., was the coach.
Lors d'une rencontre entre les membres du club et les supporters, Harry Redknapp est interpellé par l'un d'entre eux.
Ask Gary if he thinks like the publicity he's given young Frank here warrants it, because personally I don't think he's quite good enough yet. And I also think that in the last couple of years you've let some good midfielders go for peanuts, like Matt Holland and Scott Cannon.
I let Scott Cannon go. He was a good kid and worked very hard. He's gone to Brentford. He can't get in Brentford's team. He's 21 years of age. I let him go because young Frank's 17, 18 and is miles in front of him. I tell you, without any shadow of a doubt, there will be no comparison with what Frank Lampard will achieve in football and what Scotty Cannon will achieve in football. Now, I didn't want to say this in front of him, but he will go right to the very top. Right to the very top, because he's got everything that's needed to become a top-class midfield player. His attitude is first class, he's got strength, he can play, he can pass it and he can score goals.
It must have been really character building for him, because you've got to have some sort of mental strength and toughness to come through a baptism of fire like that, where your own fans are giving you grief and questioning whether you're good enough and you're a right player for that team. So I think very early on he showed the mental strength to be able to put that to one side and still perform.
Une force de caractère que Frank Lampard va montrer à tout un stade. West Ham est alors mené 4-2 contre Bradford quand Paul Kitson s'écroule dans la surface.
It showed you the bottle that Frank had, really, to want to take it, you know, and Parlo wanted it. If Frank had took it and missed it, and Parlo was the favourite son of West Ham fans.
I've never seen this before. They are arguing over who will take the penalty.
I took the responsibility. Now I take the ball. You know, that is why I took the ball we had at this moment. By the end, I told him, come on, Frankie, you're going to score anyway.
Let's just hope he doesn't miss it.
At the end, he scored the winning goal. It was fantastic because, again, I passed the ball. He controlled the ball with his right foot, and with his left foot, he delivered the ball in a top corner in an amazing style. And then everything was more relaxed because we won. He scored the winning goal, and then we sorted out the situation this way.
If I hadn't let him have it, it would have been here now still arguing over it, so I let him take it, and lucky enough for him, it went in.
I was going to say, was he talking in Italian or English?
It wasn't really the tech that made me think, it was a look in his eyes. I thought, no, I'm not going to get this, so I let him have it.
En 187 matchs avec les Hammers, Frank Lampard inscrit 39 buts et finit par convaincre malgré les critiques.
The earliest memory with Frank was basically his love of the game, his enthusiasm to play the game and constantly wanting the ball in every position, in any position that he was in. I think his dad was massively influential with him as a young player, telling him to always want the ball, keep looking, get a picture. And he always had good vision, and he always had a good passing range, and he always knew his next pass.
En mai 2001, après 7 ans sur le banc de West Ham, Harry Redknapp quitte le club, tout comme Frank Lampard Senior. Le jeune Franck suit alors sa famille et signe à Chelsea pour 11 millions de livres. Le football chez les Lampard, une affaire de famille. D'abord le père donc, Franck Lampard senior, plus de 550 matchs avec West Ham. Ensuite l'oncle, Harry Redknapp, pas moins de 7 clubs de Première Ligue dirigés. Et enfin le cousin Jamie Redknapp, fils d'Harry, et 17 sélections avec l'Angleterre. Le petit Franck a donc baigné dans le football dès son plus jeune âge, et même la mère, Pat Lampard, était une habituée des tribunes. Mais en avril 2008, le drame touche la famille. Après 10 jours d'hôpital, Pat Lampard perd son combat contre la pneumonie et décède à l'âge de 58 ans. Quelques jours plus tard, 98e minute, Chelsea et Liverpool font match nul en demi-finale de Ligue des Champions, quand Franck Lampard s'avance pour tirer un penalty.
One big fan in particular. Lampard scores! And that is something special. A really, really emotional moment for Frank Lampard.
Parce que oui, Franck Lampard est une légende, mais Franck Lampard a toujours eu besoin du soutien de ses parents.
And here comes Frank Lampard towards 650 games for Chelsea, and now one against them, and his welcome is universal. Universal, every corner of the ground. By Silva, and Milner, and Lampard! Unbelievable! How do you react to that? A story pre-written. That is staggering. There's only one story here. Its name is Frank Lampard. The Chelsea supporters who...
Parce que souvenez-vous, Franck Lampard à Chelsea, c'était ça.
The danger is looming now, and Lampard puts it away. Lampard likes it from this sort of range. Oh, he loves it from that sort of range.
Set it up for Lampard. Great strike. Lampard! Oh, and he's finished it. Lampard! Oh, wow!
He could score with his head, he could score with his right foot, he could score with his left foot. He could score from long range, he could score from free kicks, he could score the scruffy goals from 5-6 yards.
Il se servait beaucoup des appels de ses attaquants pour se retrouver dans la position qu'il fallait. C'est peut-être pour ça qu'il a marqué autant de buts.
Quand tu joues avec deux sentinelles devant la défense, il faut vraiment faire très attention à bien définir les rôles. Et comme lui avait plutôt tendance justement à me laisser un peu en retrait pour couper les lignes, récupérer les ballons et assurer les transitions, à chaque fois il était attiré par le sens du but, on le savait. Dès qu'il avait la récupération de balle, en une ou deux transmissions, tout de suite il se projetait vers l'avant, il accompagnait les attaquants, donc c'est pas étonnant qu'il ait marqué autant de buts.
En 2005, 36e journée, Chelsea est premier avec 85 points, Arsenal deuxième à 11 points des Blues. Le match face à Bolton peut être celui du titre.
A lot of players can score goals in the games that don't matter, or when games the team is 3-0 up, 4-0 up. Frank Lampard scored the big goals in the big games, none more so than in 2005 when Chelsea won the title away at Bolton Wanderers, their first league title victory for 50 years. Frank Lampard scored both goals.
Makaleli, two in the centre, and no one anywhere near them from Bolton. And Lampard can secure the championship here. Frank Lampard round the keeper into the back of the net. Who can deny Chelsea now?
Quand il met le deuxième, je suis juste derrière lui et avec Didier Drogba, on lui saute dessus et en célébrant avec notre public.
Chelsea remporte son premier titre de champion depuis 1955 et Frank Lampard lance sa course au record.
A crucial kick for Frank Lampard. It's his 150th Premier League goal, the first midfielder to do that. Cole with a return, danger here, Lampard! Chelsea's history maker. Well, the record was always beckoning to this true Chelsea great.
Un buteur de près, mais surtout de loin, capable d'enchaîner les matchs. Franck Lampard a laissé sa trace dans les tribunes de Stamford Bridge à force de travail et de détermination.
I'd like to think I had a talent to be able to do that, but hard work comes just as much as that, because at the top level now, to stay at the top level for a long period of time, you have to keep working hard all the time.
Passer son temps justement à rester après les entraînements, à travailler sur certains points faibles ou même à exceller davantage dans certains domaines où il était fort, notamment dans sa frappe de balle.
José Mourinho l'interdisait des fois de trop travailler, parce qu'arrivé un moment, il y avait tellement de matchs dans la saison, et en voyant Franck travailler comme il le faisait, José lui demandait des fois de calmer un peu, parce que voilà, il ne voulait pas que Franck se blesse.
Un travail acharné qui n'aura pas suffi pour la sélection anglaise. Rappelez-vous, on joue alors la demi-finale de la Coupe du Monde 2010.
England were 2-0 down to Germany, came back to 2-1. Frank Lampard hits a trademark long-range shot, hits the crossbar, goes in by a metre or two, bounces out, the goal's disallowed. It would have been 2-2 to England. They'd come back from 2-0 down, they'd got the momentum, and who says England wouldn't have gone on and won that match? As it turns out, they lost 4-1, and Frank Lampard finished his career never having scored in a World Cup final.
Un regret loin d'être un échec. Après 20 ans à fouler les pelouses anglaises et américaines, après plus de 300 buts, 3 titres de champion d'Angleterre et une Ligue des Champions, Franck Lampard a donc décidé de s'arrêter là, lui qui restera à tout jamais l'homme d'un seul club.
I was at a fantastic club in Chelsea that had a very good team. I think it was I've joined the club before the Abramovich years, but it became a real, sort of golden era.